They're in play, and I think the winds will probably be the biggest player because we're going to have some crosswinds there in Landover. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s for kickoff, and they're going to pretty much stay there through the whole time. And when you have a crosswind like that at FedEx Field, that can really affect things in terms of passing, but also the kicking game, too. So take a look at this. When winds are light and variable, field goal kicked at 90 feet out at 50 degrees. Generally, you got a decent kicker. Going to make it through there, right? But look what happens once there's a crosswind of just 10 miles per hour. That could be shifted almost by as much as 10 feet. And what about winds up to 16 miles per hour? That can be shifted as much as 16 feet. So you really have to feel those winds and account for those winds when they're doing their kicking game. Something you got to watch out for, Mike.
When they're doing this.
Right?
Wow.
Pretty incredible.
Amazing stuff.
It really is.
And I think he's going to give you a view of Greenland and the climate crisis there in a way you've never seen before.
Right. Those large chunks that are coming off. Beautiful to watch them, but devastating what they're doing.
What the consequences are affecting all of us, right? Now, coming up our next hour, the investigation leads us back home. In play.
So the Redskins are going to be playing here, taking on the New York Jets. And I think for the most part, you're going to stay dry. I couldn't rule out a couple of sprinkles or a really brief shower, but the wind, that is going to be the key. We could be seeing some gusts, 20 plus miles per hour. And this is a crosswind that we're talking about over FedEx Field. So when winds are light and variable, it's really not an issue, right? A field goal kicked at 90 feet at 50 degrees should go right on through those goalposts. But what happens when those winds begin to kick up? At 10 mile per hour with a crosswind, the field goal will be kicked off by about 9.5 feet. 9.5 feet with just a 10-mile-an-hour wind. What happens when those winds get stronger? A 16-mile-per-hour crosswind will then create a difference of about 16 feet. So that is really something that the kickers are going to have to keep an eye on for tomorrow when those winds kick up 2025. Passing game might be a little interesting too, Mike.
And you're hoping that it doesn't come down to a last-second field goal. Starting to see more and more of them. Dr. Nab with us here, as well as our climate specialist, Carl Parker. That's a disturbing trend, and because it may just become commonplace then that coastal advisories,
and it's only going to continue to move in that direction.
And this is not because we're just getting more and more storms. It's because the baseline water level is getting.
But it's starting now.
Yeah, because the rate of sea level rise is on the increase.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, the coastal flooding problem isn't just.
A few minutes later, that regional council meeting was flooded by the floodwater.
Of course it did.
So coastal flooding has been going on for years and years, and it's getting worse in a lot of these areas. Will there be new areas that aren't flooding now that will be vulnerable in the future?
Absolutely. And high tide situations is going to penetrate much farther inland in the low-lying areas. A little bit of sea level rise, a lot more penetration inland.
All right, good conversation, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. And we come back.